When will Bleach come back? That is the question. Now, I've mentioned this in my last Bleach manga video, which was months ago, but it was clear for those of you who don't watch my videos. Um, it was very clear, and it was announced that Bleach was on hiatus, and I did this whole prediction thing. So you can watch my video on that. But just an updated thing on that, and this is not with any further news, but just reiterating points. Um, Bleach is on hiatus for a while. Why? Because the manga artist, the creator, feels he needs this break. And on top of that, I mean, the series is coming to a big sort of climax. I mean, here's the thing. I've gotten some feedback from subscribers since then, and I do agree with them in certain ways, not completely. But long story short, in summary, it seems like Bleach will be on hiatus for at the very least 1 to 2 more months, and at the very most probably 5 months. At extreme, maybe 6 months. I doubt it. I'm predicting somewhere around 1 to 2 months, but it could be up to like 4 months. 5 months is again at extreme. I highly doubt it, but that is the case. And check out the upload dates if you guys are confused. I mean, if you're watching this in 2017, it won't make sense. But as of now, August 2013, Bleach will take that long. And as far as predictions go, um, this is based on a lot of talk and released announcements, but basically it's pretty much it's going to be the longest series, the longest arc as of so far, which is saying something because the Asian arc was so freaking long. So if this arc is longer, we have hope for the series. I did a whole video on how evidence was that Bleach was coming to an end, and there was some a little bit of debate going on, but essentially this may be the last fight, and we can use Naruto clues on Bleach. How can you get bigger than this? I mean, obviously the Fullbring arc was very small. You could tell that from the start that it was going to end very quickly. But this arc, I mean, personally, the Fullbring arc, I think it had a lot of potential, and the author realized that, but he kind of just gave up on it and decided to just bring it to an end. Maybe he didn't like where it was going. Maybe he thought, I personally just thought the power levels weren't there, and so they brought it to an end pretty quickly. But it was pretty much announced that this will be the longest arc as of so far. So the Asian arc was so long, so long. I mean, it was almost tied into the whole initial arc with the invasion, the Kira town invasion arc, which was pretty much like the very first arc, official arc of Bleach. And then I mean, the Iron Car arc, you can, if you deem that as the Asian arc as well, then we have hope. We have hope that Bleach will be still going for a long time. I mean, there's really two big things, and there's two big options for the author, and that is, you can make this a big fight and then just continue a series on from there. I mean, again, One Piece spoiler alert, but this could liken to how One Piece was like, where there's this huge culmination, a huge climax to this Marineford fight where with Whitebeard, and it could be like that, and then from there that would be like the marker of the sort of halfway point. I would liken that to the halfway point for the One Piece series, and so then we had the time skip from there. It's always like the time skip is like the marker for the halfway point for the series. Naruto, there was the time skip to Shippuden, and now it seems like the manga is coming to an end. So this could be like that, but however, I would deem the Ichigo time skip to have already happened, and that was right after Aizen lost. Right after that point, and then again, spoiler alert: Ichigo losing his powers and returning to his town. And so I would deem the time skip to be there because there was a time skip after that, about around 1 to 2 years, not long. And it's very curious how all the big mangas have implemented this time skip very effectively, and I really think it's very useful because things get old and they happen. So I really think that Bleach has hope. Before I thought the series would come to an end, but if this is the longest arc as of so far, as announced, then we have at least 1 to 2 years left. And the two options are either for him to sort of just end it here with this final arc, or continue on and keep it going. And I feel like as a manga artist, you always have this option. Like with stuff like this, where the sky is the limit in terms of creative potential, you can keep things going forever, really. And I find with a lot of series I've watched that have come to an end already, Full Metal Alchemist, Shaman King, these things, it's really down to the author, and I really see this quite often. Sometimes it's just the author deciding, I'm done with this series, I choose to come to an end. I could keep going, but I've decided I want to wrap it up, and that's what they do. Full Metal Alchemist for sure could have definitely kept going. Granted, at the same time, I mean, you would have had to put some big thought into making a bigger arc than the final arc, but it could have been done. Same thing with Naruto. I mean, with Naruto, then there's like Naruto. It's kind of different though. Actually, it's kind of like related to DBZ, where you can't really get bigger than this. I mean, you can only get power levels up until a certain point, until the point where you're pretty much like a demigod, and then it's like it's pointless continuously going. But at the same time, I mean, I don't know, probably not, but I mean, there's pretty much two options. You keep going until everyone becomes like a demigod in terms of power levels, and then it's like pointless because everyone's like almighty, and then it has to come to an end, or it can keep going. And for Bleach, I think it's not at that state where people are like that powerful yet. So I think we still have hope. So we still have a while for Bleach, and that's all I have to say for that. With Dragon Ball Z, I really do feel that Akira Toriyama, he felt like he couldn't really get higher than that. But again, with DBGT, we do see that with a good deal of afterthought years afterwards, you can come up with things even greater and greater. And I really think that DBZ still has a lot of potential. I mean, sure, they've come to a point where they can destroy planets, but then why not just, you know, I mean, there's potential if you have the creative capacity. Maybe Akira Toriyama just didn't have that creative capacity anymore. I mean, you could have created like some sort of new thing where Goku and his crew were transported to the afterlife, or a new universe where they were blowing up planets fighting. I don't know. It's tough. But that's all I have to say for that. Thanks for watching.